Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video. I have a special message for you. If you would only know how unlimited you are, you would never define yourself with those small unpleasant thoughts. So it's time for you to expand yourself. Think bigger about yourself. The possibility for your life experiences starts with the expansion of your imagination and clarity in the mind of who you are becoming. So that's why you need to focus on your future. You need to define your future self. You need to see who you are becoming so you can adapt your actions to your future self that is already present in the field of potential. You see, there is no time like we know it. Past, present, future, everything is happening now. The choices we are making now are creating results we are experiencing each moment. Therefore, when it comes to transformation, it's not about waiting manifestation. I see so often people waiting and praying, I hope things will get better. But you see, since the beginning of time, you have the power to transform, to transmute, to become the alchemist. You are the alchemist. Maybe you've forgotten about this, but you are the alchemist. You are the creator. You are the source. You forgot about this, so I'm reminding you right now. When you focus on your future, you're not placing your attention out of this moment. The future is the field of potentials. You're drawing them into this moment. Each potential starts with a new act, behaving as a version of yourself you're meant to be. So for most people it's kinda impossible because of lack of clarity. So maybe you've seen 1111. What's that? All numbers are powerful. All numbers have sacred messages within. They have sacred codes. So you see, before everything there was zero. There was nothing, emptiness. Even nothing is not nothing. It is something. And that's why in science, this quantum field or the field of potentials, the field of nothingness is called the zero field, the 0 point field, or the quantum field. So before anything there was zero point. And 0 point is a point of infinite possible options, infinite possible experiences, infinite possible manifestations. And this is the pure version of you. The pure version of you is 0 point, zero state, being the zero. It's like a dark matter, the purest form of life, when nothing exists, but everything is already present as a potential. That is the purest form of you. And that's who you are on that deep spiritual level. The purest beingness that is already present within you is that 0 point. But then we have one. One is like beginning. You know what God said? The first there was a word, right? There was nothingness and then there was a word. And word is sound. Word is a thought. Word is when you give sound to life, right? When you speak things into existence, that's the beginning, that's one. So number one is so powerful when it comes to manifestations because it reminds us that it all starts within our minds. Everything is mental, everything is mind. So all manifested comes from the mind. And when you see number 11, it's a double reminder. It starts and ends with the mind. Take care of your words. Take care of your thoughts. Become aware of your beliefs that have been formed with consistent repetition of thinking, of hearing sounds, what you allow yourself to hear, to perceive, what you're constantly perceiving. Take care of that, because that's what is influencing the way you speak, right? The way you think. And that's what's forming your beliefs. So when you take care of what you allow yourself to perceive, you start sharpening your mind, because now you're becoming in control of what you allow to enter into your mind. And often we come across fasting. What's fasting? When we decide to declutter our system. It can be body, a digestive system, right? We can fast on food, but we can also fast on information, like cutting out all sources of information for a certain period of time so we experience mental clarity, right? Of course, we don't need to fast all the time to be in clarity, but for people who are so poisoned with so much of thoughts, so much of everything that's going on in their minds, it's important to declutter our minds. So be aware of how your mind is right now, because it's not your fault that you're poisoned, but it is your fault to stay that way. Because you have that power to decide what will you do with what you have. But if you don't look on what you have as something sacred, you're not appreciating it. You sometimes think that technology is more sacred than your body, or that something external is more sacred than your body. And the reason for that is because that's how things are presented to us. If you watch some advertisements about certain technology, about certain food, you may start to think like those things are more important than you. Perceive it for enough time and you will start believing that that's true. And that's how people lost their spiritual essence. They've lost their spiritual awareness because they've started perceiving external life as more sacred than they are. So you need to ask yourself what you truly appreciate the most right now. What you truly appreciate the most right now. Because if you don't appreciate your mind, it will be hard to structure your mind the way you want to structure it, so your life can become the way you want to have it. So you see, everything starts in the mind, and that's 11. That's the number 11. Reminder, all starts in your mind. Firstly, there needs to be a mind so it can think, right? 11. 11, master manifestator, master visionary. So I mentioned before, my friends, if you would only know how unlimited you are, you would never define yourself with the small unpleasant thoughts. So what it means? Well, ask yourself, what's your definition of you? Who you think that you are? Really, who you think that you are? Why you think that you are that way? Why you think life is that way? And you may say, well, look at my life situation. Here's a proof. And it's true. But why do you believe that you should stay like that? Because your present situation is how it is. It's a product of your past. But why should you stay that way? And you may say, well, because I'm not motivated to change anything. And you're not motivated because you're staying defined, that you're limited, that you can't experience something greater. And you can't experience something greater until you become something greater. right? So how to become something greater? Well, you need to know what is something greater. And every time you get to know yourself better, you get to know something greater better, right? Because how often you sit down and you experience your inner discomfort? How often you do that? Because as long as you're avoiding it, you stay in that pain. You stay in that state of escaping from it. But then you place more attention to discomfort. And as you start perceiving it, let's say it's an emotion inside of your body, somewhere in a certain part of your body you may sense that emotion, really unpleasant emotion. You may sense guilt, or you may sense shame, or maybe there's an anxiety because you're preparing for something that's important to you. And you may place more attention to that part of you and you start accepting it. You start noticing it until you start loving that part of yourself. You give so much love to that part of yourself that that discomfort becomes love. You love that discomfort so much that it transmutes itself into love because it can't stay that way anymore with so much love, right? You love that part of you so much that it becomes love. And it's not done through words. You see, love is just a word. And in many spiritual movements, we hear word love often. Like it's often repeated. You may hear one love in my videos every single day. But words were designed to express feelings. But if we don't feel what we say, it means we are just saying empty words, right? So we need to understand. We need to feel it. We need to feel the feeling so we can express it in words. When you say love, you need to make sure that you're feeling love. If you just say love without feeling it, you're lying to yourself, and that's not something you want to do. So, when I said love your discomfort, what it means to have love for discomfort? Well, how you express love to somebody, like a family member or your partner or your friend, how you express love. See, there's something you awaken, something awakens within you. When you put attention to that person that means a lot to you. That's a feeling. That's something that is bigger than compassion. That's a pure connection. You become pure, you get into that 0 point, and that's unity. You know, often when we're talking about going beyond duality, going beyond separation, we get into that 0 point where everything is connected. But it's again not done with words, it's done with sensing, with feeling. And we've been so poisoned to think how we think, to feel how we feel, to be how we are, that we've completely stopped placing attention to what's real. And what's real is source. What's real is our essence. What's real is who we are. Below the surface of thoughts. That's who we are. And we can only access it with the right knowledge and the right tools. That's why knowledge is power. And lack of knowledge is lack of power, right? The right tools can help us to get to where most people are not getting. So we need the right tools. And what are the right tools? Well, the first one is acceptance. You accept yourself the way you are, and you learn to love yourself the way you are. So how can you accept and love yourself the way you are? Observe yourself. Make a practice. 5 to 10 minutes. You can extend it to 20 to 30 minutes or 1 hour if you wish. And just be there with yourself, not grabbing a phone, not doing anything else. Be there for yourself. Close your eyes, start breathing, start making deep, slow breaths. That's how you make love with your body, right? Because air is life, life is love. That's how you give love to your body. Breathing slow deep breaths and just observing where that breath is traveling within your body. Just observing that. Breath is life and life is love. Remember that. Every time you're breathing love into your body. Right? And just remember that and flow with that breath. And eventually you will notice there will be some tension because your body is not purified. There will be some tension, some discomfort, and start breathing into that discomfort. That's how you start loving that discomfort. Accept it. I love you being a part of me. I accept you. I care for you. I support your transformation. I know there's something bigger waiting you as you resolve what's not serving you. Start talking with your body. Start nurturing it the way you want to be nurtured. And you will notice that something magical is happening. A small pain is transmuting into a huge joy. Small pain is transmuting into a huge joy. And you become joyful, right? That's how to transform energy. That's alchemy. So you can do so much. And every time you start to think bigger about yourself, the possibility for your life starts to expand in your imagination. You will naturally start thinking bigger about your life, and you will have a need to make necessary changes. The change in the way you eat, the change in the way you think about food. The change in habits will become easy. If it's not easy, it's okay. It's okay. If it's not easy, if any change is not easy, it's completely okay. That's something you need to accept as part of transformation. More you're working on those changes, easier they will become. But if they're not easy, it's all a part of the process. And you are a work in progress. So everything is okay. Remember that it's okay to not be okay and accept that. When you feel out of harmony, your body is seeking attention because there is something you're constantly escaping from. And the only way to transcend is to move through discomfort, not away from it. And that's something you need to know. Because it's much easier to run away. But anything that helps us to escape from discomfort is just postponing it. Longer we are postponing it, harder it will be to deal with it, right? So postponing is not healing. Postponing is not helpful. It's painful. And the pain is rising and growing more we are postponing it. More we are dealing with discomfort, doing what we are afraid of, going into the pain and loving it so much that it becomes light, so much that it becomes beautiful. There will be no pain left because pain can't stand light, right? Pain can't stand light. When you place your light into the pain, it will be free. That's how you free yourself. That's alchemy. So my friends, this is the power of manifestation. It's not just focusing on what you want to experience. If there's too much of discomfort within your system, it will be hard to manifest what you want. So when you start dealing with discomfort, the energy will rise and suddenly you will feel like you want to do the things you were always wanted to do. Dreams from your childhood will return. Dreams while you sleep will become more vivid and suddenly you will be dreaming about the life that's meant for you. So it's much bigger than just knowing how to manifest, how to manipulate the energy. It's not about that. It's about allowing life to guide you to where you want to, because that's the life you want to experience. That's the life you want to live on that heart level. And all the resources, everything you need will just align with not much effort. Everything will align. So focus on that future version of you, but deal with the discomfort, because that's the magic. My friends, this is it for today. I'm sending you lots of love, blessings, and power. Have a beautiful day. Until next time, one love.